Markin does not immediately understand that she has escaped. Her body keeps moving long after the danger should be over, driven by instinct rather than thought. She stumbles through the darkness, past empty streets and silent buildings, until the sounds of pursuit fade completely. Only when the night grows unbearably quiet does she finally stop. She collapses against a rough concrete wall, sliding down until she is sitting on the cold ground. Her legs shake uncontrollably. Her breathing comes in shallow, uneven bursts, each one scraping painfully through her chest. The world feels distant, muted, as if she is watching it through thick glass. Her arm burns. The pain is no longer distant or manageable. It is sharp, insistent, demanding attention. Blood has soaked through the fabric of her sleeve and dried unevenly, stiffening the cloth against her skin. When she presses her fingers against the wound, they come away slick and dark. She swallows hard, fighting nausea. She is alive. The thought hits her suddenly, violently, alive, free, outside. Instead of relief, guilt floods her so hard it nearly knocks the breath from her lungs. Aitz's face fills her mind, blooded, focused, unyielding. The moment he turned away from her, choosing the direction of danger without hesitation. The way he looked at her just before pushing her toward freedom, as if memorizing her existence in case he never saw her again. Her chest tightens painfully. She whispers his name into the empty night, barely louder than a breath. Aitz! There is no response, only silence stretching endlessly in every direction. Faint sirens drift through the distance, distorted by buildings and time. She cannot tell whether they are approaching or moving away, whether they signal help or simply another threat. The uncertainty claws at her nerves. She forces herself to focus. With trembling hands, she tears a strip of fabric from her shirt and presses it firmly against her wound. The pain makes her hiss sharply, a sound torn from her throat despite her effort to stay silent. She binds the cloth as tightly as she can, knowing it is not proper treatment, but it will have to do. Tonight has taught her that waiting for perfect conditions is a luxury she does not have. When she stands, her vision blurs. The world tilts dangerously. She braces herself against the wall until the dizziness fades slightly, then begins to walk again slowly now, carefully conserving what little strength she has left. Every step away from the compound feels like betrayal, but she keeps going. Inside the compound, the chaos has solidified into something colder, more controlled, and infinitely more dangerous. It stands alone in the courtyard, surrounded by men with weapons trained on him. The space is wide and exposed, deliberately chosen to leave him nowhere to hide. Floodlights cast harsh shadows across the ground, highlighting the blood seeping through his clothes. His breathing is heavy now, each inhale dragging painfully through his chest. The graze at his side has worsened with movement, the warmth spreading steadily. His arm feels numb, his fingers stiffening. Still, his mind remains sharp. He studies the men around him carefully, memorizing faces, positions, habits. He counts exits even though he knows there are none left. This is not denial, it is preparation. Even cornered animals look for openings. A man steps forward cautiously, his weapon raised. He tells Aitz to drop his gun. Another moves behind him, circling slowly, searching for weakness. Aitz laughs softly. The sound is low and rough, born from exhaustion rather than humor. It unsettles them more than shouting ever could. He tells them they made a mistake. They should have killed him earlier, when they had the chance. Now everything will cost more than planned. Someone curses loudly. Another tightens his grip on his weapon. Then a voice cuts through the tension. Enough. A senior figure steps into view, his expression hard but calculating. He studies Aitz with a measured gaze, aware of the weight surrounding this moment. Killing him here would be simple, but consequences extend far beyond the courtyard walls. Aitz knows it too. He lowers his weapon slowly, deliberately, not in surrender, but in acknowledgement of reality. He tells them calmly that they can kill him if they want. He makes no plea for mercy. But he promises them that nothing will end cleanly if they do. There is something unsettling about the certainty in his voice. Orders are exchanged quietly, weapons lower slightly. Ates is disarmed and restrained again, this time with practiced efficiency. He does not resist. Resistance now would be meaningless. As they drag him away, his thoughts stay fixed on Merkin. He hopes she is far from here by now. He hopes she is alive. He hopes she is angry because anger keeps people moving forward when fear would freeze them in place. Elsewhere, the consequences begin to spread. At the mansion, concern turns into alarm when Merkin does not return. Calls go unanswered. Messages remain undelivered. The air inside the house grows heavy with unspoken fear. Servants whisper among themselves, exchanging worried glances. Someone mutters that this is not normal. Someone else tries Ates' phone again, only to hear silence. An older woman sits heavily at the table, hands clasped tightly together. She murmurs prayers under her breath, asking God to return both of them safely. She does not ask for justice or revenge, only survival. In another room, voices speak quietly about Merkin. About how strange it is that a woman forced into a marriage that appeared cold and hostile would risk her life so completely. How she ran toward danger instead of away from it. An older voice answers calmly. Love is not always soft, she says. Some loves begin with resistance, with anger, with wounds that refuse to heal. Those loves grow slowly, painfully, but they grow deep. They are forged through effort, sacrifice, and fear of loss. And once formed, they do not break easily. Back in the city, Merkin finds a narrow alley and sinks down against the wall again, her strength finally gone. The pain in her arm has intensified, spreading outward, making her lightheaded. She presses her forehead against her knees, tears finally spilling over. They come silently at first, then harder, her shoulders shaking as she struggles to breathe through them. She cries not only for herself but for Ates, for what he chose, for what he may be enduring now. She wipes her face roughly and forces herself to think. She will not let this disappear into silence. She will tell everything if she has to. She will fight in whatever way she can. Honor without love is hollow, and love, she realizes now, is something she cannot afford to lose. Inside the compound, Ates is thrown into a dim room, wrists bound, wounds treated just enough to keep him alive. The door slams shut behind him, echoing harshly. He leans back against the wall slowly, every movement sending pain through his body. His eyes close briefly as exhaustion crashes down over him. He is still breathing. That is enough for now. He knows this is not the end, not for him, not for Merkin. People who believe tonight finished things have misunderstood something fundamental: how much a person can endure once they have something worth protecting. Outside, the city continues unaware. Merkin disappears into the night, wounded, shaken, but alive. It remains captive-blooded, exhausted, but unbroken. Two paths stretch forward, bound by the same sacrifice, the same promise. And somewhere ahead, through confrontation or rescue, through truth or violence, their stories are already moving back toward each other. Because nothing born from this much pain ends quietly.